West Pittston, Pennsylvania. A seemingly ordinary town with its quiet streets and friendly neighbors. A place where everyone knows each other and life moves at a gentle pace. But sometimes, even the most serene places can harbor the darkest secrets. Within its borders, nestled on Chase Street, stood a house marked by darkness. This house, with its unassuming exterior, held a history that would soon unravel in the most terrifying way. It was a place where the line between the living and the dead blurred, and the past refused to stay buried. This was the home of the Smurl family, a place where joy would soon turn to terror. Jack and Janet Smurl moved into this house with high hopes, dreaming of a peaceful life with their 4 daughters, but the house had other plans. It was as if the very walls whispered of the horrors that were to come. Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their young daughters Dawn, Heather, Leanne and Shannon, had no idea of the nightmare that awaited them. They were a close-knit family, full of love and laughter, unaware that their new home would soon become a battleground between the living and the supernatural. The house, a duplex they shared with Jack's parents, held a secret, a malevolent presence lurking beneath the surface, waiting for its moment to strike. The Smurls began to notice strange occurrences, unexplained noises, foul odors, and objects moving on their own. What started as small, unsettling events soon escalated into full-blown terror. Little did they know, their lives were about to become a horrifying testament to the reality of the supernatural. The Smurl family would face an ordeal that would test their faith, their sanity, and their very will to survive. This is their story. A chilling tale of a house that became a prison of fear, and a family that fought to reclaim their home from the shadows. At first it started subtly, unexplained noises, the kind that could easily be dismissed as the house settling or the wind playing tricks. But these noises had a peculiar consistency, always occurring at the same time each night, just as the clock struck midnight. Whispers in the dead of night, faint, almost imperceptible but undeniably there. They seemed to come from the walls themselves, as if the house was trying to communicate. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, filling the rooms with an eerie presence that was impossible to ignore. The Smurls dismissed it as the creaks and groans of an old house. After all, old houses have their quirks. But these sounds were different. They had a rhythm, a pattern, almost like footsteps pacing back and forth, as if someone or something was trapped within the walls. But the incidents escalated. Objects moved mysteriously. Chairs would be found in different positions, books would fall off shelves without reason, and small items would disappear, only to reappear in the most unexpected places. It was as if an invisible hand was playing tricks on them, testing their sanity. Foul odors like sulfur and rotting flesh permeated the air. The stench was so strong it would wake them from their sleep, leaving them gasping for fresh air. It clung to their clothes, their hair, and no amount of cleaning could rid the house of the smell. It was as if the very walls were exuding this malevolent scent. A feeling of dread began to consume the family, a sense of unseen eyes watching their every move. They felt it in the pit of their stomachs, a gnawing anxiety that never left them. Every creak, every shadow seemed to be a harbinger of something terrible lurking just out of sight. Janet, a devout Catholic, felt a chill run down her spine whenever she entered certain rooms. She would clutch her rosary tightly, whispering prayers under her breath, hoping to ward off whatever evil presence she felt. The crucifix on the wall, once a symbol of comfort, now hung askew, as if even it was powerless against the dark forces at play. It was as if an unseen force had begun to stir, its power growing with each passing day. The air grew colder, the shadows darker, and the sense of foreboding more intense. The Smurls knew they were not alone, and that whatever was haunting them was growing stronger, feeding off their fear and despair. The haunting intensified with terrifying force. Furniture overturned violently, disembodied voices taunted the family, their words laced with malice. The temperature would plummet without reason, sending shivers down their spines. The entity, no longer content with subtle displays, began to physically attack the family. Scratches appeared on their bodies, seemingly out of thin air. Objects flew across rooms with impossible force, narrowly missing their targets. Fear became a constant companion, a suffocating blanket of terror that threatened to consume them. Desperate for help, the Smurls turned to anyone who would listen. Priests were called in to bless the house, their prayers seemingly having no effect. Paranormal investigators arrived, their equipment malfunctioning in the presence of the overwhelming supernatural energy. Each attempt to understand and rid themselves of the entity only seemed to fuel its rage. The Smurls were trapped, prisoners in their own home, tormented by an unseen force they couldn't comprehend. Section 5. A Battle for Souls, Exorcism and Defiance. The Catholic Church, convinced of a demonic presence, authorized an exorcism. The air crackled with tension as the priest conducted the ancient ritual, his voice booming through the house. The entity, enraged, fought back with terrifying power. Objects levitated, the house shook, and guttural growls echoed through the halls. The exorcism, though valiant, proved unsuccessful. The demon, it seemed, had no intention of relinquishing its hold on the Smurl family. Section 6. The Demon's Grip, Relentless Torment. The haunting continued for years. The entity, growing bolder, subjected the family to unimaginable horrors. Janet, the primary target of its rage, endured the brunt of the attacks. She was physically assaulted, thrown against walls, and tormented by whispers of depravity. The family lived in a constant state of fear, the line between sanity and madness blurring with each passing day. The demon, it seemed, reveled in their suffering, its grip on the Smurl family tightening with an almost sadistic glee. Section 7. Escape from darkness, leaving the nightmare behind. Finally, in 1989, after enduring over a decade of torment, the Smurls reached their breaking point. They decided to leave the house on Chase Street, hoping to escape the nightmare that had haunted them for so long. With heavy hearts, they packed their belongings and fled, leaving behind the only home their children had ever known. But even as they drove away, they couldn't shake the feeling that the entity, in some way, was still watching them. Section 8. Scars of the Unknown, the Hauntings' Enduring Legacy. The story of the Smurl family is one that has captivated and terrified audiences for decades. Their experiences in the house on Chase Street have become a chilling reminder that some horrors defy rational explanation. The Smurl family's story became a chilling reminder that some horrors defy rational explanation. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, the Smurl family reported a series of disturbing events in their home. These events ranged from foul smells and strange noises to physical attacks and apparitions. The family was desperate for answers and turned to both the church and paranormal investigators for help. Though they escaped the house on Chase Street, the scars of their ordeal remained. The Smurls described their experiences as a relentless assault on their sanity and well-being. They claimed that the entity in their home was malevolent, intent on causing them harm. Despite moving away, the psychological and emotional impact of their experiences continued to haunt them. The haunting left an indelible mark on their lives, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of the ordinary. The Smurl family's ordeal was not just a series of isolated incidents, but a prolonged period of terror that affected every aspect of their lives. They lived in constant fear, unsure of what would happen next. The hauntings strained their relationships and tested their faith. To this day, the Smurls maintain that their experiences were real, a terrifying testament to the power of the unknown. They have shared their story in interviews and books, hoping to shed light on the reality of their experiences. Skeptics have questioned their claims, but the Smurls remain steadfast in their belief that they were victims of a genuine haunting. The haunting may be over, but the terror lingers, a chilling reminder of the unseen forces that surround us. The Smurl family's story serves as a cautionary tale about the potential for darkness to invade even the most ordinary of lives. It challenges us to consider the possibility that there are things in this world that we cannot fully understand or explain. The legacy of the Smurl haunting endures, a testament to the enduring power of fear and the unknown.